Hey, how's it going, YouTube? I just wanted to have a quick chat about condition of cards. So I recently got a message from a buyer that purchased some of my cards. It was a playset of Glimpse of Natures, and got back to me and said, "Hey, you listed these cards as near mint, but I would consider them LP. What are you gonna do about it?" And I'm like, "Oh man, like I don't know. Like so basically, I know I went through and listed, a couple thousand cards in the last couple of weeks, and sure, my grading might be a little loose, but just wanted to see what you guys' opinion were, or and show you how I would consider cards. So I would think those Glimpse of Natures were something. They were certainly cards that were not pack fresh. I mean, you're literally talking a card from 2003, so they were 20 years old. I'll use a comparable card here. Let me go ahead and switch my camera up a little bit here. Um, so if I grab the wrong camera, let me grab this guy here. Shove myself down in the corner here and switch over. So I found here. I'm gonna hide myself a little bit there. I found my other card camera here on my laptop was showing stuff a lot better, so I'm going to show you things on that. So this is a set of early harvests. They're obviously from the 90s. They've probably never seen play out of sleeves, but they probably have seen some play in sleeves. But you can see there's just a little bit of whitening on those. I would still consider these to be near mint cards. I don't see like there's nowhere near enough visible damage on here to lower to an LP card. So as another example here, we've got here's a set of various conditions of seismic assaults. You can see this front one here is obviously an older card from again from the 90s, and that card basically, you're talking a 20 25 year old card at this point, and I would consider that to also be a near mint. um, you can see this is a newer version of the card. That also is clearly near mint. You got this guy here. This one has a quite a significant amount of play wear on it. I would probably consider this HP. So yeah, so that's a pretty reasonably heavily played card. And then obviously this is another one that I don't see any play wear on it. You can see a little bit of whitening around the edges. I don't think that's enough to can even knock that down to an LP range. Um, so I guess for me, it takes a little bit of actual play wear to knock a card down to LP for me. I mean, I can see here are a couple of more cards. These ones have some more play where you can see there. That definitely, for me, is going to be an MP card on the Utopia. Probably that's a lot more borderline. Probably also MP on the Verdant's Force there. You can see definitely has a bit more whitening on it. Let me see if I can get that on camera a little better with the black background. Um, but yeah, no, it I would consider that to be a pretty classic MP. It's a lot harder to find something that I'm going to consider light played. I've kind of looked around a little bit. Um, this Utopia tree here, I would consider this one LP. You can see there's some whitening along the bottom here, right there. That's a nick that would put it to LP for me. And then at the top here, there's a little bit similar whitening here that I would also consider enough to push it down to LP. So basically, I'm not sure if I'm being too lenient on my cards. Basically, when you're talking, I'm going to go ahead and bounce you guys back up here. When you're talking about um, 25-year-old cards, I don't know if that should come into play on whether you consider something to be um, can come into play on what you value as near mint versus LP. Again, I've been trying to input cards very quickly. Um, I have noticed, like I pulled, somebody ordered a couple of Avatar of Woes for me that I picked this morning, and I listed a playset of Avatars of Woes in my inventory as near mint. And when I went to pick the two that the guy had listed, I found that two of them were definitely less than near mint. They were definitely LP. And the other two were very borderline LP. I could easily see somebody considering those LP. I'm going to try and ship them out as near mint anyway. I know, like I said, it's kind of comes down to personal opinion on that. Um, I know if you look at I've read through the guidelines for what TCGPlayer considers near mint. They're showing how. Let me see. Do I have? Let me see if which display is up here. Yeah, that's the display I want. Let me go ahead and bounce myself up here. So the guidelines here indicate that near mint is a card with minimal handling or play wear and allows up to 3 points of imperfection on the card. If you go based on like PSA grading, I was looking through here, you can see a PSA 7 card is still considered near mint. I mean, you can have quite a bit of wear and still get a PSA 7. So basically, for me, it takes a decent amount before you get below a near mint. Obviously, excellent played cards here. PSA 6 is below near mint, but even PSA 7, according to PSA, is a near mint card. Obviously, that we're going off of the standards that Star City Games uses, and and it takes, like, you can see what I would consider almost damage on the card here before you get down to light play. So that's what I've been going by. I don't know if that's a good gauge or not. I'd love to hear you guys' opinions if you've got cards that you've listed as near mint, or what you would consider light play versus near mint. That's a very fine distinction. Um, and for me, I usually, at the very least right now, I'm erring on the being very lenient on my cards, and I'll consider something near mint even if it has like some minor imperfections on it. If it looks like it's never been played outside of a sleeve, then I'll probably consider it near mint. But that's how I do things. If you think I'm just flat out wrong on that, I'd love to hear that. If I'm being uh, dishonest with my store, I want to know. I'm doing the best I can. Obviously, I've got a huge collection that I'm trying to list and inventory on the site, and it is just a ton of work to get that done, and have everything fair and balanced for both the buyers and the sellers in this situation. So, just kind of curious if you guys agree with me. If you're looking at some of the cards I showed and go, oh man, those are definitely light play cards. Then I'd like to hear that. If you're like, nope, you're spot on. Uh, Things with a little bit of playware can still be considered near mint, then I'd like to hear that as well. I feel like it's very common for TCGPlayer orders to err on the side of better condition. It feels like you really have to prove it if if you've got a condition issue with your cards. More than likely, I'd imagine TCGPlayer themselves may err on the side of the consumer. Obviously, they don't want to lose their player base, but at the same time, I think the general understanding is, and what people expect from TCGPlayer is that there's a lot of give when you're buying and selling cards online as far as condition is concerned. And they kind of expect that something that they might not list as a light play card would be listed as a light play card on TCGPlayer. It's just too subjective. You got a bunch of amateurs listing stuff. I don't know if you'd consider me an amateur or not. I've certainly got enough years in the market to where I could be considered an expert, but at the same time, like I'm certainly an amateur to selling cards. So yeah, so I'd love to hear your opinions on that. If you like this video, feel free to like and subscribe. I'm putting out content as fairly frequently right now, um, and would love to hear your opinion and your support. Thank you.